Hello, friends, and welcome to our daily prayer service on Kardec Radio. Welcome today to another message that will help us stay aligned with God's will. And we are referring today to a message by Emmanuel, which is entitled The Act of Writing. And we're getting this message from the book called Missives of Hope, which was psychographed by Chico Xavier and Herculano Pires. The act of writing. To write with only high literary standards, from those dedicated to the exteriorization of ideas through writing, freezing images with precious words. Emmanuel is wondering, does this writing only refer to those of literally high standards? And we know that essentially we all are writers these days. We essentially continuously compose. We're posting, we're texting, we're writing emails. A lot of our communication these days is in written words. And if let's just imagine for a moment, if we lined it all up, we actually are authors of books, essentially, right? So this is pertaining to us. Undoubtedly, all writers are creditors of respect. However, it is of the utmost importance to consider, above all else, that writing must be performed with edification. So Emmanuel is reminding us in our daily writings, in our daily exposés that we put together, we are invited to focus on our moral and intellectual improvement in what we're sending out in written word. He continues to say, we understand that the materialized rewarding idea is preferably destined to noble venues, where it meets with those already present and elicits educational creations that honor humanity. So the potential of the written word, and actually also the spoken word, but this particular message is titled The Act of Writing, has the potential to educate, to help humanity. Nevertheless, such usage does not preclude its function in other areas, where it tends to different objectives in a much more forceful approach. So there are situations where the word is not used for edifying purposes. Let us momentarily observe the fields of experience in which millions of human beings are immersed, waiting for a thought that might adapt them to their necessities. Under these circumstances, we do not find themes belonging to symposia or highly specific topics, despite their being dignifying and indispensable. Among those who undergo trials and are striving for edification, we identify a hunger for renewing ideas that deliver consolation and hope, guidance and faith, pulling those hearts away from the darkness of lack of reflection and rebelliousness. Emmanuel is talking about us, so many of us who are so hungry and thirsty for renewing ideas that would help, that may deliver consolation, hope, guidance, faith. There is a pressing need, he continues to say, for written matter that translates into assistance to the morally infirm in order to reinvigorate them, support to those being dragged by afflictions. There is a need for medicine for the sick of spirit. There is a need for written matter for a lifeline to those marooned on earth. And there is a need for aid to all who rise in the immense waves of imbalance, so they may reach a safe shore. To write, yes, but knowing what one writes, how one writes, and for what and to whom one writes, for the thought creates the idea. The idea molds the verb. The verb establishes the action, and the action in turn creates one's destiny. As a result of such process, it is important to remember that life will bring back to us tomorrow in absolute detail everything that we write on the canvases of today. Beautiful message. It's so rich. We will just highlight a few things. Emmanuel is essentially talking about the written word. And when we think back to the very origin of the universe, we learn in John that in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God. So our beginning goes back to the Word. Now, how do we define God? God is the supreme intelligence, first cause of all things. And what did God use to create? He used willpower to create. And we spirits, what do we use to co-create? We create our will. We use our will to co-create. We know that, and Emmanuel mirrors this in this message, that thought is life. Our mind stands as the mirror of life. As we think and feel, we emit, and as we emit, we attract. So we also know that our thoughts are controlled by our will. And the will is, as Emmanuel teaches us in Thought and Life, is the manager of our thinking and our feelings. It's the manager of our mind. And the mind consists of many, many different departments. So in order to have a good manager in us, we need to educate the manager. We need to educate our will in order to do the good, in order to use our thinking and ultimately also our written word, because this message is about the words in writing for the good. The will needs to be educated. So why did God use the word? Well, the word is the sender of messages. It's, as Emmanuel says here, thought creates ideas, and then ideas get calcified in writing eventually. The word carries thoughts and feelings, and the word is the mission of thoughts and feelings. So the word is the next step after our thinking. So let us go back to Emmanuel. So he speaks about the need of the written word for edification for those who are on planet Earth like us and who are suffering. So we are in need for ideas that help us, that console us. And we are in need of hope and guidance and faith. In what better way than reaching for an edifying book that was gifted to us by spirits on high through the sacred mediumship of all the many mediums who helped deliver these messages that we have as a result of Spiritism. And what better way than studying the written word? However, there is another side. And the other side, the first side that we have talked about, is the side of being the recipient of the written word. But there's the other side, and that is we being the creators, the co-creators of the written word. So that is a different responsibility we're carrying, and we just want to say a few words to that. Because we're invited today by Emmanuel to look at our own written words, to analyze them and see what intention, what thoughts and feelings our words carry. Because with every thought dash with every word that we write, or any written word, we are putting seeds into our garden of eternity. And as Emmanuel says, in absolute detail and mathematical precision, we will have to harvest the seeds we put into our garden at some point. There is no escape from that. So we're carrying a tremendous responsibility, particularly in these days where we are doing so much writing on social media and texts, emails, and whatnot. There's many different platforms. We are invited to ask ourselves, what am I sending out? Is it helping us? Is it helping others? Is it educational? Is it balanced? Is it inciting more conflict, or does it build bridges? Is it loving? Is it kind? So it is important for us to soul search and to follow our guide and model, Jesus, because in this too, he was the perfect model. He was not someone who spoke a lot. Of course, he never wrote anything down. He was very precise, very kind, and yet firm in his expressions. Never one word was misplaced or in any form or shape stirring up conflict. And this is our invitation for today. Thank you, friends, and let us pray. For this, let us bring in Mother Mary through the Ave Maria. Let's see what we can find. Beautiful melody. And if you can, you're invited to close your eyes and just relax. Feel your feet on the ground, and connecting our hearts and minds with God, the supreme intelligence, first cause of all things, divine providence, always loving and caring for us, looking out for us. And let us thank Jesus for his amazing love, this beautiful model of ours, guiding us in everything, including helping us in our thinking processes, in our words, and in our written word as well. The guide and model who is modeling perfect balance of the masculine and feminine. And let us invite in Mother Mary, who is the caring, forgiving, loving mother. And as we feel embraced by Jesus and Mother Mary, we're saying thank you to the spirit mentors, our own mentors, the healing doctors that are surrounding us 24/7, always available to guide us, to help us when we're writing emails, when we're texting, when we're posting on social media. Our intention is to be more in tune with your guidance, dear God, dear Jesus, Mother Mary, dear mentors. We want to learn. We are aware that this lifetime is the lifetime for us to make a big shift towards the good. We vow we will work to improve ourselves in seeking the good, in feeling the good, in visualizing the good, and in molding the good with all the resources we have at hand. We're grateful for Emmanuel to bring awareness to the importance of the written word, and for us to reach for the edifying, high vibrational information that is provided to us. And at the same time, to remember the responsibility we carry with our own written words. And with this, we're closing today's prayer gathering with so much gratitude. And so be it. Thank you, dear friends. I'm seeing beautiful friends here. Beth Cruz, Ana Paula, Narciso, Nora Brazil, Amanda Andrade. Thank you, dear friends. And thank you, Kardik Radio, for nourishing our souls always. God bless you.